So what you see here is our tie-ups are for a typical twill, which is going to be shafts 1 and 4 are lifted on a shaft, and then your second shaft is going to lift shafts 1 and 2. Your third is going to lift shafts 2 and 3, and then your fourth step is going to lift 3 and 4. So in order for us to repeat this as a double weave, we want our blanket to open up to where both sides are showing this front pattern and the back is showing the back pattern. And the way we're going to do that is we always need to lift the reverse sheds. So we need to make it like a mirror, again, just like when we were threading it. So where we come here and we say shaft 1, we lift 1 and 4. That means back here, we need this group of 4. We have these 4 shafts, which are our bottom layer. And let's just separate these shafts entirely in our mind. We need 1 and 4 to stay down because that's the new up shed. So we need to treat the bottom layer like it's a sinking shed weave whenever we're tying it up. So we tie this up like the jack loom, and we tie this part up like, are these 4 like a jack loom, which is what we're using, and then these 4 like a sinking shed loom. That way, we're always lifting the threads that we're not using. That becomes our new bottom layer whenever we lift a shed. So you can see right here, we leave shed 1 and 4 down if we just don't count these. So 1 and 4 down, which creates the exact same shed as when I come over here and I lift and only 1 and 4 come up. So I hope that makes sense and that's clear. If you need any other explanation for it, just drop a comment and I will get that to you. Okay, so I hope you guys can see the treadle position here pretty well. Whenever you're doing double weave, you are going to want one treadle that's going to lift the separate sheds. So this treadle right here lifts all 4 of the front shafts and leaves the back 4 shaft lying down. Now, I like to separate it like that, and it's also convenient if you have any type of leg weakness or muscle weakness in your legs. You can always have some of the shafts separated and you don't have to lift as many shafts at once. So just keep that in mind. But for this particular weaving pattern, you've already watched how we threaded it. If you watched my last video, if not, it's going to be linked above. Our first set is going to come over here. We're going to come to, I'm not counting this treadle that just lifts the 4 shafts. I'm going to move over and I'm going to go to treadle 4 and I'm going to put 1 foot on treadle 4 and 1 foot on treadle 8. I'm going to lift treadle 4 and I'm going to start my boat at the left side and pass it through, and that's going to lift shafts 3 and 4. And that's going to be the top layer. And then I'm going to press treadle 8 and that's going to lift shafts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Whenever I'm lifting my treadles, and this is going to be the bottom shed, and I'm going, or the bottom layer, I'm going to pass my boat through, put that down, and then I'm going to do a second on the bottom layer. So again, it's going to lift all 4 of the front shafts, and then I'm also going to lift shafts 5 and 8. Then I'm going to come back to the top layer and I'm going to step on treadle 3, and that's going to lift just shafts 2 and 3. Then I'm going to, still doing the top layer, move over to treadle 2, and I'm going to lift sheds 1 and 2. Now going back to the bottom layer, I'm going to lift treadle 6, and it is going to lift up all 4 front sheds, and then 7 and 8. And then again with the bottom layer, I'm going to lift up. It's going to lift up all 4 front sheds, and it's going to lift 6 and 7. I'm going to put that back down. Then I'm going to go back to the top layer, and I'm going to lift treadle 1, which is going to lift shafts 1 and 4 only. I'm going to pass through. Now I'm going to, remaining on the top layer, lift shaft or treadle 2, which is going to lift shafts 1 and 2 again. Now back to the bottom layer, I'm going to step back onto shaft 6, and then I'm going to, staying on the bottom layer, step back onto shaft 7, going to come back to the top layer and step on shaft 4, back to the bottom layer, and I'm going to do shaft, back to the bottom layer, and I'm going to do shaft 4, and then, or sorry, 8, and then I'm going to do shaft 1, and going back to the top layer, I'm going to do shaft 1, and that is the end of this pattern, and after that it repeats from our very first steps. So now real quick, I want to show you a mistake I made right here because it's actually kind of funny. So as you are aware, I hate counting. You could see over here, I have the pattern, but this is where it connects. We're connecting on the right side. So I should have counted in order to make sure I had a complete repeat of the pattern ending on 3 strings right here. And I did not. So I actually have it now where all of these zigzags are 6, and all of these are groups of 3 right here where you see the cool little design, except for where it connects on right here. On either side, there's going to be a total of 2 of these little zigzags, just 2, not 3. And then there's only going to be 4 of these zigzags, not 6, where it connects. So I made an adjustment how I could have. If I wanted to make it perfectly even on this side, I would have had to have counted and have made this 1.5 zigzag on both layers. And then that would have caused it to be a perfect connection on this side. Just something to keep in mind if you're really worried about it. I wasn't. I just wanted it to be a full 26 inches, which it will be, but that's something to keep in mind. Let me show you how this looks a little bit when you look through when it's lifted. Okay, so you can see the bottom layer here, and it's matching exactly to the top. But let's say I pulled a little tight on this corner. You got to be careful about pulling tight on the corners, especially at the other end where it connects, but you can see this is two completely different layers. I stick my hand in there. It's completely separate layers of fabric. And we have the 6 different colors. So what we have on the top layer is going to be the licorice, the jam, the aqua, and then connecting to it on the bottom layer. Let's get that. You can kind of see going down is going to be the jade, the pistachio, and at the very end, that is going to be the hibiscus. So right here is the hibiscus. So those are the 6 colors we're using in a 3-2 beam, and this is set at 12 ends per inch. We're just going to keep going, and so this is just kind of where we're at. Check in next week. I should be done then. We might have like just a little video of just the whole process of weaving it. Just a fun little weave along type style video. And hopefully at that point, I'll have more of it done or I'll be completed. I'm trying to decide if I want to do fringes or if I just want to let the tassels hang loose. Let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking about doing the twisted fringes though. I think that might look really nice with this blanket. I have enough or should have enough on both ends to make it. I'm weaving about 13.5 inches in each color block, matching the exact order as what I have threaded. So it should be a pretty even looking blanket. I'm really excited about it. And I hope you guys have a double weave project you're working on, and maybe you can share it in the community. I'd love to see it. So thanks for watching. Have a great one and check in next week.